Hey guys, TGKS Productions. So this video, I just want to sort of make an update on sort of the video I made a little over a month ago, about a month and a half ago. It was about the daily challenges streak and how a lot of people were experiencing them getting reset in Red Dead Online. And I'm going to show you here basically. Mine actually got reset about 3 or 4 days ago. I was very surprised at this because I had a streak of about 45 days. I really thought that Rockstar fixed this. However, on my video that I made about a month and a half ago about, people basically losing their streak, I did receive some people over the past few weeks that did say that, in fact, they did lose their streak. And the first person, when the first person left a comment on that video basically saying that they lost their streak, originally I thought maybe that person just happened to, maybe they just missed the time and didn't realize it or something like that. I really thought that Rockstar had this fixed, but then I started receiving other comments from a lot of other people saying, yeah, mine got reset as well. And then I was thinking, well, I don't think that everybody would have just missed their time. And, it's likely the fact that, everybody or, all these people actually did lose their daily challenge streak due to basically just this glitch or this bug in Red Dead Online that, Rockstar saw us to fix. And there was even an update this past Monday, I believe, to try to help fix some of these bugs. And mine got reset up, I believe, that Tuesday or Wednesday, a day or two after that update. So clearly these bugs are still happening. And, I just think it's ridiculous that this, that it's been, actually the time that I'm recording this video, November 10th, it's been exactly 2 months since this, since the rules update has come out, and we're still receiving bugs on this. You're going to see here coming up, after these daily challenges, the next thing I want to try to do is, you'll see me go for my camp. I want to try to set my camp up as well. And as many as you know, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced in Red Dead Online over the past, couple months, you'll see here I'm trying to basically get my camp set up, and you'll see it's sort of almost like the icon flickers in a sense. It's trying to set up your camp. A lot of times you get the icon that says, hey, Crips has packed up your camp. And this really just ticked me off because, as soon as I got my daily challenges streak reset, I got to try to spawn my camp in, and I can't even do that. So I just find it quite ridiculous that these bugs are still happening, and I'm just wondering, like I said, there was a recent update this past Monday. There was even other updates over the past 2 months, I believe 1 or 2 other ones that Rockstar, I believe, are trying, because there's no new content that's been added in besides the drip feed stuff, which is obviously part of the initial rules update. So I'm assuming these updates are trying to fix these bugs, and these bugs are just still not getting fixed. And it's ridiculous how a lot of people are still, experiencing this, like myself. And I'm just kind of wondering, I'm curious, I'm just wondering about how many other people out there are still experiencing these, these bugs, especially with the daily challenges streak being reset and the camp, the camp, you being not able to spawn your camp in. I mean, that's a big deal. These are 2 big, bugs to Red Dead Online because, I mean, number one, these daily challenges, I'm not going to go into a ton of details. My video that I made back in September sort of talks about a lot of this, but I mean, daily challenges are one of the best ways you can earn gold in Red Dead Online. It really is, at least consistently. And it's just ridiculous that each week basically you have this multiplier that as if you keep a streak of a week, you have a higher multiplier that you'll get for each daily challenge completed, as well as completing all of them, and it keeps going up for a whole month or 28 days, and and you can earn a lot of gold that way. Like I said, if you keep the streak of over 28 days, you can earn a ton of gold. And it's just ridiculous how when these streaks get reset, that you're losing out on gold, and as I touched on my old video, real cash in a sense. I mean, you really are. In Red Dead Online, you can't buy in-game cash, but you can buy in-game gold. So in the sense that you're losing out on this gold, you're in a sense losing out on real money. And like I said, I talked about a lot more of that in my old video. But basically, as far as the daily challenges are concerned, I do recommend that if you do happen to lose it, you should go to Rockstar and at least have them reimburse you for what you would lose working your way back up to those 28 days, because that's just ridiculous. That you'd have to work your way back up, and the amount of gold you'd be losing. I don't have the exact amount that you'd be losing, but if you let them know, a lot of times they're really good. They'll work with you and they'll compensate for it. They did for me the first time that I lost my streak. So, I definitely recommend that you do that. Like I said, at least to earn the gold that you'd be losing, trying to work your way back up to those 28 days. Because, like I said, it's just unacceptable. That this is ridiculous that this hasn't been fixed. And, on top of that, with the whole camp, the camp is another thing that's ridiculous that hasn't been fixed. I mean, the camp is like your headquarters for a lot of things. I mean, you can craft and cook things there. You can pick up things through your lockbox that you've ordered from the catalog, or that Rockstar's gifted to you. Which you could argue that that's also at the post office. Which, yeah, sure, but that's still a feature at the camp. You can also pay off your bounty at a reduced price at your camp. And there's different things you can invest in your camp, such as like your tent or whatnot that'll affect your the regeneration of your player cores. But also probably the biggest thing, or at least as of recent, the biggest thing is the trader role is operated outside of the camp. And if you can't spawn your camp in, you can't participate in the trader role, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, this is a huge aspect to the new roles update, and you can't even use it. And or at least I'll even show you here. I was at my camp, and I think I did one of the daily challenges at the time. It was I think it was like donate 10 items to Crips. And you'll see basically that I'm only as far as the trader role is concerned, I'm only a role level 8 in that role. Both my bounty hunter role and both my collector role have been maxed out for probably a few weeks now, if not even getting close to a month. And this trader role I'm only level 8 in it just because I've had so many difficulties a lot of times trying to spawn this in. I will say, as of recent, at least since this past Monday, since they added the new update in, I've had a lot of an easier time, or at least it's been a lot smoother in the sense that as far as spawning in the camp, I haven't had as many issues with it. But in the past, there's been times where I've tried to do, I looked up certain videos, try to see what people have done. Some people say, do something like a story mission, and a lot of times that'll fix it. I've tried that. A lot of times that didn't work. I've even tried to switch sessions. A lot of times that didn't work. I even tried to shut off my, console or close the Red Dead application, and then, go back into it, go back in a session, and it still doesn't work. So, a lot of times I just get discouraged and frustrated to the point where I just, I didn't even care to try to spawn the camp in because a lot of times I just couldn't. And like I said, as of recent, I haven't had as many problems with this, but I mean, clearly these bugs are still going on. If my daily challenge streak just got reset, I had a streak of around 45 days. I thought that Rockstar mostly fixed this, but clearly they didn't. And I'm just kind of wondering, I'm curious to hear from people out in the, community, am I the only one, or, I highly doubt it, but like, how many more people are experiencing this, or these issues, or these bugs? And like I said, I'm not trying to just beat up on Rockstar here, but, I do fault them a lot for this just because, I'm a big GTA Online player, and there's a lot of bugs in that game that have been in the game for years. I mean, we're not talking weeks, months, we're talking years that Rockstar still hasn't fixed, and I just find it ridiculous that, could there be more that there could be doing? I mean, the fact that, like I said, as of today, November 10th, it's been exactly 2 months since the roles update was added in, and these issues are still happening. So, I mean, you wonder, could there have been a little bit more that they could have done to try to prevent this? That's sort of what I'm trying to get at here, and I just think it's just ridiculous that these are still ongoing issues. And, I get it, GTA, it's 5-6 years old. I still don't think that's an excuse to let certain game-breaking bugs like, teleportation glitches and, God mode glitches and more even besides that to be left in GTA Online, especially because they're still releasing updates for it. It's not like they just left GTA Online alone. But, Red Dead's still a new upcoming, sort of online game or online world that they're trying to, obviously constantly, improve and add to. And, I just think that the fact that this is only, coming up on a year old as of next week, I just think that, this stuff should not be happening. I mean, this, they need to be taking all actions possible to try to completely eliminate this from online. Not just, improve it here and there. No, this needs to be removed because this is just getting ridiculous and out of hand. Like I said, I'm just curious if anyone still is having issues with this, please leave a comment. I'm just kind of curious to see how many people are still struggling with these bugs, if you're struggling with the whole, camp, having issues spawning the camp in, or if your daily challenge streak, are still getting reset, or even besides that, maybe there's some other bug that, I haven't covered that is still happening. I'm just kind of wondering, I'm curious to see, what people are still struggling with. But in any case, guys, like I said, hopefully Rockstar will start taking more actions to this to try to improve it. But in any case, I don't want to try to, this video is probably already around 10 minutes long. I don't want to try to make it too long, but I just sort of wanted to go over some of those things and just, sort of make an update to my previous video and add to it a little bit. But anyways, guys, like I said, let me know if you're struggling with any of these issues or any other issues even besides what I touched on this video. But anyways, guys, hope you found it beneficial. And as always, have a great day.